The scrap yards of Arrow's Prime stretched endlessly, a graveyard of broken machines and forgotten ships. To most, it was a wasteland of rust and ruin. To Joran, it was home. He had been a mechanic, an inventor, a dreamer, until war stripped him of purpose and left him scavenging for spare parts just to trade for food. But that was before he met her. She appeared one night at the edge of the scrapyard, small and trembling, her silver hair tangled, her eyes clouded white. She was alien, yes, but her face bore the same exhaustion he saw in his reflection. She stumbled on loose metal, nearly falling into a pit, before Joran caught her arm. "Easy," he said, steadying her, her head tilted toward his voice. "You're human?" Her accent was strange, musical. "Last I checked." He studied her milky eyes. "You can't see." Her lips tightened. "I was blinded in the raids." Something in her voice cracked open a part of him he thought had rusted shut. Against all reason, he led her to his workshop, a shed cobbled together from ship hulls and half-functioning generators. She told him her name, Elira. She had fled the destruction of her colony, and with no family left, she wandered, surviving only by kindness. For weeks she stayed. She listened as he muttered over circuits, laughed at his clumsy cooking, and learned to navigate his cluttered shop by touch. And though she never asked, Joran began sketching an idea. A visor, powered by salvage tech, that could bypass her ruined eyes and feed visual data directly into her neural pathways. It took every spare hour, every scrap of metal he could melt, every ounce of energy left in his weary hands. He burned his fingers, cursed broken parts, and nearly gave up twice. But then one night, he placed a crude, glowing visor into her hands. "It's not perfect," he admitted, "but it might let you see again." Her breath caught. She slid the visor over her eyes, and with a faint word activated, light pulsed softly across its surface. Elira gasped. For the first time in years, shapes formed before her. She blinked, tears running down her cheeks. "I can see you," she whispered. "Your face?" "Joran, I can see you." And for the first time in so long, Joran felt alive. Chapter 2. The Soldiers. 3 days later, they came for him. The sound of boots crunching on metal woke Joran from a half-sleep. For figures approached his workshop, clad in dark armor marked with the insignia of the Dominion, the galaxy's most feared military power. Their movements were disciplined, predatory. Elite soldiers. Joran grabbed a wrench, the closest thing to a weapon he had. Elira, sensing the tension, hurried to his side. The leader stepped forward, removing her helmet to reveal sharp features and eyes like cold steel. "Joran Kale," she said, "you are under order to come with us." "Yeah." Joran forced bravado into his voice. "And if I don't—" She tilted her head. "Then your little invention dies with you, along with the girl." Elira's fingers tightened around Joran's arm. "Why do you care about a visor?" he demanded. The soldier's lips curved in a humorless smile. "Because your crude creation has drawn the Dominion's attention. We have been trying to develop such a device for decades. You, a human scavenger, succeeded first. That makes you valuable." Joran's stomach sank. He had just wanted to give Elira her sight back. He hadn't thought beyond that. "And if I say no?" "Then," the soldier said coldly, "we take the girl instead. She is the proof your device works." Chapter 3. Flight. The moment she reached for Elira, Joran moved. He swung his wrench into the soldier's arm, sparks flying as it struck armor. The woman stumbled, snarling, and Joran grabbed Elira's hand. "Run!" he shouted. They bolted into the scrapyard, weaving through rusted hulks and twisted metal. Energy blasts lit the night, scorching holes in the wrecks around them. The soldiers moved with lethal precision, never tiring, always closing in. Joran pulled Elira into a collapsed starship hull. His chest heaved, his mind racing. He had no weapons, no plan. But Elira's visor glowed faintly in the dark, her eyes wide as she clutched his sleeve. "I won't let them take you," he swore. "They want you, not me," she whispered. "If I surrender—" "Not happening." His voice was steel. You've suffered enough. Her lips trembled, but she said nothing more. Chapter 4. The Choice. The soldiers cornered them at dawn. Blasters leveled, visors gleaming. They advanced through the broken skeleton of an old freighter. Enough games, the leader barked. Hand over the prototype, and you both live. Jordan stood in front of Alira, spreading his arms. You'll have to kill me first. The leader smirked. That can be arranged. A blast rang out. Jordan braced for pain, but instead, the shot never reached him. Alira had stepped forward, her visor blazing brighter than before. The prototype, strained beyond design, surged with energy. It caught the soldiers' targeting systems, scrambling their visors. Their formation staggered, weapons misfiring. Joran seized a moment. He lunged at the nearest soldier, wrench in hand, smashing the weapon from his grip. Another came at him, but Alira, guided by the visor's data, snatched up a fallen blaster and fired. The soldier crumpled. Side by side, they fought, Joran with desperate strength, Alira with newfound sight. Against elite soldiers, they had little chance, but somehow, impossibly, they endured. At last, only the leader remained. She tore off her damaged visor, glaring at them with raw fury. You think you've won? The Dominion will never stop. That device belongs to us. Joran tightened his grip on the wrench. Tell them they'll have to dig it from my grave. The soldier sneered, but then, to his shock, she retreated. Very well. But remember, scavenger, we always return. With that, she vanished into the smoke, her surviving troops limping after her. Chapter 5. More Than Sight. When silence fell, Joran dropped to his knees, exhausted. His arms shook, his burns ached, and his heart pounded. Alira knelt beside him, her visor flickering with the last of its power. She pulled it off, staring at it with wide, tear-filled eyes. It's breaking, she whispered. The damage is too great. Joran brushed a hand against her cheek. Then I'll build another. Better. Stronger. As many as it takes. Her tears spilled freely. You risked everything for me. He gave a crooked grin. I'm just a mechanic. That's what we do. Fix things. She shook her head, leaning closer. Not just things, Joran. People. For the first time in years, he felt warmth spread to the cold emptiness inside him, not from machines or inventions, but from her, from the knowledge that in giving her sight, he had found a reason to keep living. Chapter 6. A New Path. They could not stay in the scrapyard. The Dominion would return, and next time they wouldn't fail. Joran packed what little he owned, tools, spare parts, food, and together they boarded a half-broken shuttle he had been repairing for months. As the engines roared to life, Alira strapped beside him, visor clutched in her hands. Her gaze lingered on him, soft and unshaken. Where will we go? She asked. Anywhere the Dominion isn't, he said with a shrug. Then more firmly, somewhere we can keep building. There are more like you out there, Alira, people who've lost everything. If I can make one visor, I can make 100. Her lips curved into a small, radiant smile. Then I'll be your eyes until you do. The shuttle lifted into the dawn sky, leaving the scrapyard behind. Ahead lay danger, yes, but also purpose. Joran had begun this journey to give one girl her sight, but in the end, he had given himself something greater, hope, and no army in the galaxy could take that away.